version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Have you ever been so immersed in a fantastical world that you wish you could just experience it in real life? Well, step into the world of tabletop role-playing games. Grab your friends and play these games that combine storytelling, strategy, and a little bit of luck. I'm talking dice rolling, role-playing, and creating brand new worlds to explore. Usually, players go to places like board game cafes or game studios to play these kinds of tabletop role-playing games in Singapore. Today, I'm gonna be jumping into a game with a group of avid players, but in a home-based studio. My quest is to find out more about this community and its increasing popularity in Singapore.
Hello, my name is Arisa and I'm a behavioral therapist. The community is quite cohesive. They are very welcoming, very accepting. Even if you have different quirks or different wild interests, they are usually very accommodating to that. What I love about it is that they will also adopt your interest into the games. So I also like to see the dynamics in Dungeons and Dragons. What are the different people who play? There are people who are educators, there are people who are in corporate, a lot of different people, and I love that. I think especially those introverts like me, I'm actually an introvert, I don't know if you can tell, but introverts especially, when they start playing Dungeons and Dragons, it helps them express themselves in a very conducive way. Even for children, we teach public speaking at a very young age, and I think Dungeons and Dragons is a very good platform for them to practice that, because they do it in a very comfortable environment, at the same time tapping onto their interests. We usually play Dungeons and Dragons with this set of dice, and this is the one that we use the most. You call it a D20, and many others.
Hi, my name is Ashraf. I am a project manager by day, and on the side, I am a dungeon master for tabletop role-playing games. I mean, initially when I first ran games, I ran it at game studios or like board game spaces, right? But as someone who kind of appreciated the storytelling, the narration of it, it was kind of difficult to find a space where it was conducive. Because of the noise, you can kind of like, it breaks off from the immersion. I feel like people can enjoy the game when the immersiveness is clear. So this started as 2 rooms that we broke down, make it into one full space. This is a custom-made table. So we talked with woodworkers to design a table that fits best for the games that I want to run. So this is behind the DM screen, and on it is usually like set things that you need to know about mechanics, especially for Dungeons and Dragons. These playlists for every single campaign. Music will be controlled from here. You can control this, and there's a way that I can pan sounds. So like you can make it sound as though like a dragon is flying overhead. And then there's lights. So this is our light system, right? So it'll be like this, and then suddenly like they hear something coming out from the darkness. Something's gonna be attacking them, and then it gets a bit redder as they go into combat, for example. So these are different ways that we play with the lights. And if all goes well, then this is the daylight. There's like large maps here of different areas. So these are like of like the entirety of the world. These are player minis, so players can choose these ones for them to play. This is also theirs. Some of them are their own minis which they keep here. This is made by my wife. So this like vampire blood, but you can like shake it and like it will just swirl up very nicely. So it'll be kind of cool during game for them to experience something like this. So these are all these pieces that we kind of add in to make it very immersive for players. When we go our day-to-day, right, we don't get a chance to feel or like be creative in what we do. And I feel this is the best way for me to at least express some level of creativity through storytelling, the setups and things like that. So I wanted to prepare more Southeast Asian influenced games, and then there will be a bit more representation within the online community about Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop role-playing games from Southeast Asia. There's not a lot of content written about Southeast Asian lore or like myths and things like that. We would run games in like Old Changi Hospital or Pulau Ubin. I feel that there's always a game for someone. There's always a system or a genre or something that fits someone. As long as you find your right group of people to play with, right? I think there will always be a table for you.
It is truly fascinating how tabletop roleplay games like these allow players to tap into their creativity or even release any pent-up emotions that they have inside of them, all through the simple play of assuming a different character, embarking on a mythical adventure with their friends, or even the satisfaction of completing difficult imaginary missions. Thank you for joining me on today's Urban Wire quest. Farewell, travelers!